Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for the final 6 games of the season. And today we're going to be discussing Barca's midweek clash against Osasuna and exactly how Xavi might line up after the significant improvement that we saw on Sunday against Real Betis. And what a special night that was at the Camp Nou. We're also going to be talking today about some transfer news with the very latest on Lionel Messi. After a lot, and I mean a lot, of contrasting reports, where are we on that potential deal? It is all coming up today. It's all up for discussion. So come on, and let's do it. Now today's video, guys, is coming to you courtesy of La Liga Golazos, La Liga's own exclusive range of digital collectibles, and they have just dropped their brand new campaign, and it's all centered around our own Robert Lewandowski. And today you can be part of that with the chance to claim your own free Lewandowski pack. It's been curated by the man himself, featuring his 9 favourite La Liga strikers. You can win incredible prizes in the packs there, a meet and greet session with Lewandowski, signed Lewandowski shirts, and just like before the Classico, I want to show you some of the packs that I have opened earlier on today, show you how it's done. You can see right here a packed Antoine Griezmann, the moment there of his goal versus Valladolid, Lewandowski's goal at the Camp Nou against Elche, and also there an uncommon Kun Agüero, Lewandowski choosing him as one of his favourite strikers. And just check this out here, this was a historic standard pack, Diego Forlan, a rare Diego Forlan. I used to absolutely love watching that man, what a player he was, and that man, he wasn't bad either. The Ronaldo, rare again, his Golazo versus Cadiz. So if you guys want to go ahead now, claim that free Lewandowski pack, all you got to do is follow the link in the description and you're away. It's easy to do, and let me know who you guys pack. Because coming up on Tuesday, Barca will indeed host Osasuna at the Camp Nou in the slightly earlier kickoff time there in the evening, 7:30 kickoff there at the Spotify Camp Nou, with the title Moving Ever Closer, given that Barca still maintain an 11-point gap over Real Madrid at the top. Real also face a tricky game in midweek there against Real Sociedad, and it also depends on them. If they drop points and we can win, there's still the possibility we could wrap up the league in Espanyol Stadium. That is a very, very exciting prospect. There's also a few more things this season, though, that we have to sort out. One of those is the Pichichi Award, and Lewandowski responded at the weekend there to Benzema's hat-trick with a goal of his own, but that gap right now, it is starting to narrow. There's only 2 goals in it, 19 there versus 17, and I think for Lewandowski, having led the Pichichi race for the entire season pretty much, he wants this award, and it would be a really impressive achievement there in his first season in Spain, so for sure that's going to be on his mind. And the one other thing to note here in midweek is that this will actually be our last game for 12 days. There's going to be no matches in La Liga this weekend due there to the Copa del Rey final happening, which also rather significantly features our opponent, Osasuna. They're going to be in that Copa final, and will that have an effect on this game? It was already sort of reported in the build-up they could make a lot of changes, they could heavily rotate their team to keep everybody fresh for that game, and you feel like that's a possibility. It's one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game in their history. Of course they're going to want to be ready to face Real Madrid. Even Xavi, in the build-up to this one, he admitted that could be a possibility, but he said whoever lines up for Osasuna on Tuesday, of course we've got to be ready, we've got to be prepared, and we have to do our job. When you are thinking, though, about Barca's starting lineup in this one, certainly it's going to be Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who is chasing records of his own in goal. We discussed that in yesterday's video about the clean sheet. And of course, along the back line, like we also spoke about, that back 4. For me, if they're available back, you play them. You want those 4 across your back line. They give everybody a boost. They give everybody confidence there. Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, Balde. But it wouldn't actually surprise me in this game, perhaps, if we saw Jordi Alba at left back. That's one thing there that I think Xavi might throw into this game, so keep an eye out for that if it happens. But for me, I would go with the strongest 4. Then in midfield, for me, again, you're going as strong as you possibly can, especially with that break after this game. Busquets, Frenkie and Pedri would make up my midfield three. And then in attack, I think it's interesting because on the one hand, you've got Dembele coming back, but I think if you drop Rafinha, if you there benched him right now, I think that would be harsh. I really, really do. I also think that would destroy any sort of confidence, any sort of momentum that he's built up here of late. I don't really think that it'd be beneficial right now to take Rafinha out of the team. So if Dembele is ready to start and you want to bring him back in there, then potentially start him on the left-hand side. So then you'd have Rafinha, you'd have Dembele on the left and Lewandowski down the middle. But I think Barca may just wait that bit longer to start Dembele there. Just ease him back in because, like I say, we have that break after this game. Maybe then after that, Dembele will start starting games again. But in this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Gavi on the left-hand side, Rafinha on the right, and then Robert Lewandowski leading the line. And like I say, looking for goals. But of course, guys, make no mistake, we can't forget about Lamine Yamal because, of course, he had a brilliant debut there. Phenomenal cameo coming on against Real Betis. He's got the record now, but will we continue to see him this season? Well, he has been included in the squad once again for this one. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw him again. Yet more minutes for him potentially at the Camp Nou. And I think actually it's not just about making a statement here. It's not just about Barca giving a few more minutes to a 15-year-old. And that's incredible in itself. But I think honestly, the way that he played when he came on against Betis, he's earned it. He's earned himself more minutes. He looked a massive threat there when he came on, nearly scored, nearly set up a goal. He looked really, really exciting. And that's why in this game, do not be surprised that if Barca are ahead in the game, or even if we were searching for a goal, Lamine Yamal could be set for yet more minutes. And so I think in general, guys, when you're looking at this midweek game from Barca against Osasuna, the one thing that I want us to do is basically continue where we left off against Betis. We're in front of our own fans once again. Let's start with that hunger, with that intensity from the very first minute again, and let's put in another strong performance. Let's wrap up this league as quickly as we possibly can and continue on the right path. That is what we all want to see. But what are we going to see next season? That is where we go next, because I want to talk now about the very latest on Lionel Messi. Now, of late, it has been a little bit quiet on the rumour front in terms of new information when it comes to Messi and Barca, and of course, the very last significant development that we had was that Barca had sent their viability plan to La Liga. Now, that plan, of course, is very, very important in the whole Messi scenario, and in terms of our whole summer transfer plans, we need La Liga to give that plan the green light to start proceeding with the moves that we have in mind. Now, over the weekend, given that we haven't really heard much of a response from La Liga, we haven't really had any indication on whether that plan is going to be accepted or not, we started to hear some negativity. It was really seeping into the reports in Spain, and especially over the weekend, the feelings didn't sound good at all, with some even going as far to say that Barca feel that plan won't be accepted, and that actually Lionel Messi's return is in serious doubt. It may not happen, it may be off. Is that true? Is that the case with Messi? Now, right now, what I would say, guys, is just stay calm for a minute, because from what we understand right now, that is not really the case, because as of right now, Barca have not received bad news from La Liga, nor have they received good news. Right now, we are simply still at the stage of waiting, and I don't think any hasty decisions are going to be made. Nothing is going to happen here overnight, one way or the other, to bring Messi back or not. Nothing is going to be that final right now. But what I would say is about this, though, and I think the really important thing to know is that the feeling from Barca is that even if La Liga do come back to us and say, okay, that's not good enough, that is not going to work for us, that won't comply with our FFP rules, let me just say that doesn't necessarily mean that's the end of it. Because remember, they've already done that once. This new plan that Barca have sent them is a revised plan. La Liga already knocked us back a few months ago, and this is now us trying to make the necessary changes. And the feeling from the club is that no matter what the response is this time from La Liga, they're going to keep going back. They are going to keep revising that plan. They're going to keep changing it. They're going to keep altering it until it is suitable for the league. Because Barca have their summer plans. Barca have a clear idea, the board, the coaching staff, for the direction that they want to take the club this summer and the reinforcements that they need to make. And for that reason, they are going to do everything in their power until the very final minute to put that plan into effect and to make the moves that we have planned for. So I wouldn't right now rule anything out. I wouldn't get taken in by a lot of these negative reports, and I would just stay very, very calm. Those at the club are working hard. We know that all the time in the background they are making moves. And let's just wait and see what that response is from La Liga, and then crucially, how Barca react to that. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below, how are you feeling right now about the Messi return? Do you feel as though it is still on? Do you feel as though we're still heading in that right direction? And also, what do you make there of Tuesday's upcoming game against Osasuna? Thank you all, guys, for getting involved and indeed here today with the video. I will see you soon for all of the reaction following that Osasuna game, and I thank you indeed for your fantastic support. But until next time, guys, as always, Visca El Barça.